If you conduct business, charge for a service, or sell a product in unincorporated Clark County, the Department of Business License is there to assist and answer any questions concerning the licensing and compliance process.
First of all, we want to foster customer confidence within the process. We also would like to ensure public safety inspections, making sure that we have the quality, that we're sustaining and maintaining the public's health and their well-being. And the other thing that we want to do is that we want to build collaborations. We want to make sure that our customers are receiving a quality experience. Therefore, we need to make sure that our technicians and our specialists are very thorough, that they're educating the customer, and they're encouraging them to comply with all of the requirements.
As one of the fastest growing areas in the United States, Clark County currently has 61,000 active business licenses and processes about 13,000 new applications yearly. From monorails to manicurists to merry-go-rounds, the Department of Business License categorizes more than 400 different business activities into 3 types of licenses: general, regulated, and privileged. General licenses are for the most basic businesses, such as a flower shop or bookstore, and usually take about 45 working days to issue. Regulated licenses, such as for childcare, are regulated by Clark County Code and in some instances state statutes. Depending on the type of business, a background investigation by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department may be required. Privileged licenses, such as liquor and gaming, are governed by state statutes and Clark County Code. To determine the owner's suitability to hold such a license, these businesses require investigations by the State Gaming Control Board and Metro Police that include background checks with personal history and financial questionnaires. All license categories, general, regulated, and privileged, require public safety inspections.
So first and foremost, before we issue a license, you have to go through the zoning process. So therefore, your land use must be approved that will match the business activity that you choose to conduct. If you do not pass the zoning or the land use approval, then your application is terminated. If you do make it through your land use approval, then you move on to a building inspection, a fire inspection, and if applicable, a health inspection. That means if you're a restaurant or if you're providing child care or liquor, you have to go through a health inspection.
Depending on activity, some also require animal control and air quality inspections. The important component is cooperation from the applicants and partnership through the inspections.
It's very, very important that the department assures that the public's health and safety is protected when we're doing our businesses. It gives us a great deal of confidence, not only that the location is suitable, but we then know that the business activity that's going to be conducted from a location is conducted appropriately.
The Business License Department website is a great tool to get started. First, use the jurisdiction locator to determine if a business is located in unincorporated Clark County. Next, look up its license requirements. Each of the 400 types of business categories is listed, along with a complete checklist of all the requirements.
So it's important for us all through the process to educate, inform, and support, because as I mentioned earlier, some of our license categories are lengthy and there are a number of requirements. So wherever we can discuss it with the applicant in our pre-licensure conferences, we're going over code requirements. We're talking with our partners to make sure that they're successful all the way down the chain.
The application fee is $45. The cost of the license will depend on the type of business. Being licensed adds credibility and legitimacy to a business because it has met all the licensure requirements. Clark County residents can also search the business license database to verify whether a company is licensed, for how long, and who owns it. The department receives about 800 complaints a year. Most involve unlicensed businesses or businesses operating outside the scope of their licenses. Still, 40% of Clark County businesses are not licensed. The unlicensed business unit educates and informs people about the application process and encourages owners to comply. The finance division manages the county's money. With yearly gross receipts from licenses and room taxes being second only to property taxes, the department oversees the accrual of gross receipts between $2 million and $2.5 million per day into Clark County funds.
We generate close to $1 billion in revenue for the county. We also audit another $1 billion of gross revenue. It is part of our statutory authority and responsibility and duty to make sure that we are collecting the fees as appropriately, we are reporting the fees as appropriately, and we also undergo internal audits to make sure that the fees are distributed and disseminated as appropriate.
The finance division also handles business audits. Audit times vary depending on business type, but many are on a 3-year cycle. The annual review of $500 million in fees and taxes on average adds $4 to $5 million a year to the county from income not reported properly or misunderstanding of the code resulting in incorrect payment of fees. Utilities and Franchises manages and negotiates all agreements and right-of-way assets for the county, assuring continuity of services and rate compliance. And as the state film administrator, the Business License Department works to facilitate filming in Southern Nevada. It's a one-stop center for film companies, granting about 30 permits per month.
Films contributed about $1 billion to Nevada's economic growth in the last year, and we're proud to be a part of that. So we have a great staff that coordinates everything, works with the producers. We get a chance to meet very, very great individuals in this process. We would like to take a little bit of credit for all of the due diligence that we put in place for bringing the groups of individuals together to make sure that the film experience is well coordinated.
The Department of Business License is located at 500 South Grand Central Parkway on the 3rd floor of the Clark County Government Center. The office is open Monday through Friday between 8 and 5. For more information, call 455-4252.